All right. It's human nature to feel anxiety and fear while facing major obstacles. But are they holding you back from your full potential? Best-selling author Jill Schulman looks to help turn that instinct from survival into growth. She's got a new book out. It's called The Bravery Effect. It's available right now. And Jill is here on Good Day New York. Nice to meet you. Did you guys have a chance?
Hi,
Yes,
Jill.
I think I passed you this morning, but you put the shirt back on.
I know.
You could have just left it off.
I guess it would have been very brave of me,
Yes, it
maybe,
would've.
to keep it off. But I'm really grateful to meet you. This is an amazing just book and idea. And I just think that for me personally, I always think about fear as something that is very to avoid. And I think it's really interesting that you have a different perspective on that.
Yeah. I mean, what you just said is really the common misconception people have about fear. They think that fear is something that we should run away from.
Right.
And fear is something to avoid. But in reality, we should try to move toward fear. Because when we run away from fear, then our world becomes smaller, our life becomes smaller. So we got to learn to move through it.
By the way, you are a bad mama jamma. I mean, you've looked fear in the face.
Okay.
How did that happen? How did that go down,
Yes,
Jill?
how did it go down? Yeah.
Well, I did start my career as United States Marine. So
Thank you so much for your service.
Incredible.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think that's where I started learning about fear. My grandfather was a Marine in World War II. I followed in his footsteps. But it wasn't until I studied psychology that I really learned about bravery. I mean, I thought I knew everything about bravery. I mean, I'm a United States Marine, but then when I studied it and I learned the psychology, it changed everything. You know, so many people think that, again, fear is something to avoid.
Right. Conflict avoiding, people pleasing.
Exactly.
Like that. Yes.
Exactly. And the data that really spoke to me, and the reason I've dedicated my life to studying bravery, is that, you know, based on the research, we know that when people run away from what they fear, it leads to the development of anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
And we look at the stats. We're at the highest levels of depression and anxiety, especially in our younger generation. And what people do is they think, oh, if in the moment I avoid what I fear, it's going to preserve my mental health, my mental well-being. In the short term.
It's weak.
But it does.
Yeah.
In the long term, it has a devastating effect. So that's what bravery is about. It's about learning how to move through the fear instead of run away from it.
You know, a lot of us, well, whether it's in our career or our home life, you know, we have these little small steps with taking action. And then, Frankie, I was thinking about you. I mean, you're brave. You left your drinking and drugging.
Yes.
That was a brave move.
Yes, I think this is going to help sober people a lot because we talk about this a lot in our life and in our sober programs. We call fear false evidence appearing real.
Yes.
Which is just really, it's interesting. And I spent so much of my drinking and using, drinking and using because of fear. Not because I was not able to bravely face my fear.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, let me just escape it. So I do think that understanding psychologically what's happening in your brain could help people that are dealing with substance abuse problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think some people think that bravery is just reserved for our first responders, who are some of our bravest, or maybe our United States Marines or service members. But bravery is a skill for all of us.
Yep.
Because every single one of us, we all experience fear. Fear is inevitable. But hesitation, that is optional. And bravery is trainable. So bravery is not a trait you're just born with. It's a skill that you can build, and it's just so necessary.
Can you give us, Jill, one or two steps that we can incorporate into our life today?
Yes. If I were to give you just one tip, it would be when you experience fear in that moment, it's to just pause for a moment and become curious. What is this fear really telling us? Right? And my little hint is a psychological trick, which is ask your future self. What, if my future self a year from now, what does my future self want me to do in this moment today? And usually if you listen to your wise future self is going to say, do it. Go for that promotion. Say yes to that exciting opportunity. Have that difficult conversation.
Right.
So, when you experience fear, there's nothing wrong, right? Because we all experience fear. So look at fear as not a stop sign, but as a signpost pointing you to exactly what you need to do.
Ask that Starbucks barista out on a date.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Yes.
the little things.
Little
Like smile,
things.
be like, oh, just say hello to them if you're
You've
scared.
been thinking about them for weeks every
Yes.
time you go there, and you've been wanting to ask them out, but
Yep.
what holds you back? Fear. And so bravery allows us to avoid the pain of regret.
I love it. Well, the book
Amazing.
is fantastic. It's called The Bravery Effect. It's out right now. Jill, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your tips with us this morning.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
Beautiful.
so much.
All right, when we come back, listen, are you ready to eat?
Yeah, of course I am.
You look like you need a little something.
A little substance. Mother's Day and Italian food. Now that is what I call a love language. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, have you been to Gargiulo's
No, I'm
in
going
Coney Island?
today,
Okay,
right now.
right now. And apparently, Matthew has a secret recipe for cannolis.
Oh.
We're going to get it out of him.
Great.
Okay?
Well, I took my shirt off already, so I can now have as many cannolis as I want.
All right, Gargiulo's when we come right back.
Sunday, I can turn a dance floor into a